friends, welcome back. I wanted to take just a quick minute to share with you my top 5 favorite sketchbooks. I have used a ton of sketchbooks over my lifetime, and these are my 5 favorites, and these are the ones that I have repurchased over and over, with the exception of one, because I'm still on the first one I've ever used, but I really like it. I'm going to start with the OG, the very first sketchbook that I really fell in love with, but I do want to preface these favorites by saying what I find is the best in a sketchbook for me might not be what is the best thing in a sketchbook for you. For instance, I prefer a bound sketchbook, so you won't find any spiral bound sketchbooks on this list. And there's a plane. Hold on, let me shut the door. Okay. Sorry about that. You won't find any sketchbooks on my list either that have tear out pages. I don't want my pages coming out of my sketchbook unless I want them to come out, and I never want them to come out. I've never wanted to cut something out of my sketchbook or tear it out. And I find with pages that you can tear out, they often tear out against your will. So you won't find any of those on this list, but those might be things that work better for you and your practice, and that's just great. They just don't work for me. That being said, my tried and true is the Moleskine. I don't know if I'm saying that right, and I know everyone struggles with this, but their art collection sketchbooks are one of my favorites. They are 165 GSM, 111 pound paper, so not like the thickest paper, but still thicker than just your standard like copy paper. And I feel like they hold up really well to sketching, inking, not like heavy inking, but like pen inking, and so a little bit of paint, like gouache works well on it, but I would not watercolor on it. My markers, like my alcohol markers, do pretty well on it. Obviously it bleeds through. And that being said, not a single one of these sketchbooks does not have that problem. I have yet to find a sketchbook where alcohol markers don't bleed through the page, but I'm pretty sure that's impossible. And if it is, you're using super thick paper, which would be awkward to use in a bound sketchbook anyways. It has, one of the downsides is the paper is not bright white. It's a little bit of a cream toned paper, not creamy, but just slightly off-white. So that might be something that you don't like. You love using only bright white paper, but I feel like it's great for just a sketchbook practice, because this is just where I practice. Every once in a while I'll do something where I want to take it into a completed piece, and I'll scan it in and edit it, and then I can adjust the levels and make the background white. If that makes sense. Anyways, sketching, drawing, erasing, all of that works great in this sketchbook, and yeah, I love it. This is a really good one and a good place to start because a lot of stores tend to carry the Moleskine brand. All right, up next is the sketchbook I'm currently using, which I'm probably also going to butcher the name of. It is the Mule. I'm not sure how you say it. It is a German brand. I have their little teeny one. It's like a pocket size, and I love this. I bought it on a whim when we moved here to Germany, and was like, no, I don't know if I'm going to use this or not. But I was like, what if I bought a little tiny sketchbook to make it easier to bring one with me when we're traveling and such? And I ended up just using it as a normal sketchbook. Like I sketch in this every single day, and I love it. When you have such a small space to work with, it takes out a lot of the overwhelm with starting a new sketchbook page, because you're already limited by the size of the paper. So it doesn't feel as stressful to fill the page. I hope that makes sense. I've been loving it. I've been painting on it. This is gouache. And colored pencil. And then the one I showed at the beginning, that's Neocolor. So it's handling all of my art mediums really well. Same thing with the Moleskine. It is not a bright white paper. It is a more creamy toned paper. So same thing, if you really are into bright white paper, maybe this is not the sketchbook for you, but I've really been enjoying it. And like I said, it does take having a smaller size does take a lot of the pressure off of sketching in your sketchbook. But that's the Mule, and I'll put that on the screen so that you can spell it and look it up if you want to. All right, the next one on my list is this really cute little white sketchbook. It's by Etcher, which I think is also a German brand. After I moved here, I found out that a lot of my favorite brands actually are manufactured here in Germany, so that was exciting. And I did end up buying this here in Germany also, I believe, but it's really cute. It's a watercolor sketchbook, but it's the hot press paper, so it's very smooth, so you can still sketch and draw and do whatever you want on it. It is white paper, And I've only used the very first page in this one, so I can't attest to what it's like to use an entire one because this is my first one, but I really love it. The pages lay relatively flat when you lay down to work in it, and the page quality is really nice. I believe it's 220 GSM, so thicker than all the other ones I have, which makes sense because it's a watercolor sketchbook. This one obviously I'll be reserving for painting in. So far I've done gouache in it, but I am intending to use actual watercolor in it since it is a watercolor sketchbook. But if you are more of a gouache or acrylic artist, this will work just as well also for those. The hot press paper. With the cold press, maybe not, but I haven't tried the cold press. I've only tried hot press. All right, next up is one of my tried and trues, and this one, if you're in the bullet journaling community, you might be familiar with this brand. I've also seen them a lot in YouTube videos like sponsoring or reviews, but this is the Archer and Olive notebooks. They do make some notebooks that are blank. Currently right now, I think they only have 1 or 2 designs on their website that have blank pages, so you do have to sometimes wait for blank notebooks to come up because they don't make as many of them, but the paper quality in these notebooks is so good. It's 160 GSM, which is right between being not too thick and not too thin. The pages lay flat, which is really nice. They are bright white paper, and I really love to do Copic markers on these. Obviously it bleeds through, but I usually just glue a piece of paper on the opposite side of the page to just cover up where it bled through, and then I draw on that instead. And it's very nice. It feels slightly luxurious. The covers are always gorgeous. These are a little bit more on the pricey side, but she has sales sometimes, and I just really think they're worth it. And you get a lot of pages in one notebook. Like, one of these notebooks lasts me a very long time. And for instance, this particular one that I'm holding, I drew in it from November 2022 to October 2023. So this lasted me slightly over an entire year to fill up this whole thing. So I highly recommend it. It does have the little pen holder on the side too, because she does design these more in mind for like bullet journalers and planners, but they work great as sketchbooks, and I highly recommend them. They have a little strap to hold it closed, and they have the ribbon bookmarks. I just love these. I actually don't have one that I'm currently working on because I've used up every single one I've purchased, and I've not gotten around to purchasing a new one yet, but I've used all of them up. They're all completely full of sketches, and I love them. And they're a really nice, beautiful notebook to hang on to look back on, because they're just pretty. Keepsakes. Last but not least, this is my all-time favorite sketchbook that I have discovered. I started using one beginning of last year and used up 2 of them pretty quickly, and then bought 2 more. I haven't started using the new ones yet because I'm trying to finish up that cute little pocket one that I showed you earlier, but these are my absolute favorite. They are the Stillman and Byrne sketchbook. It's called a premium sketchbook. They have lots of different sizes. This time I'm going to try out their square size because I thought that would be really easy for illustrating some of the children's books that I'm working on. And I love this paper. I absolutely love it. It is so smooth. It is bright white, 270 GSM, so it's super thick paper. I mean, you don't get as many pages in a sketchbook with this one because the paper is so thick, but it really feels premium and luxurious, and I love to paint on it. This is the perfect sketchbook for painting in if you choose to do so. I love using my gouache in it, especially. It goes down so smooth and it dries so smooth, and I love using my Copic markers in it. They go down really smooth and they blend really smoothly. But they obviously still bleed through the page, but not as bad because the paper is a lot thicker than any of the other ones I've mentioned. So far, everything I've thrown at it, this thing can handle. It does have a soft cover. At first, I didn't think I was going to like, but I actually really like it, and I feel less fussy about playing in it and using like my neocolors and my colored pencils and my paints and layering and like gluing stuff in, because the spine is just a little bit more flexible on this one because it is a soft cover. The Stillman and Byrne brand has several other series. You can see them on the back here. They have an alpha, beta, epsilon, zeta, gamma, delta, and then they have some with like different colored papers. But the zeta is definitely my favorite. I haven't tried any of the others really, but I think the cold press, the beta, would probably also work really well for painting and mixing in with your other stuff. Like it says mixed media on the cover here, which is what I love it for. I love sketching and then paint, like just everything. I do everything in the sketchbook and I really love it. And definitely if I was going to recommend one sketchbook, this would be it. Although if you don't paint, then this is not it. Don't do this one. Do like a Moleskine or one of the, or like an Archanov. That would be better for just sketching. But this, if you want to do mixed media, painting, neocolors, pastels, all of the above, this is the one I recommend. All right, friends, that is it for all of my favorite sketchbooks. These are all ones that I've tried and that I use. If you have a favorite sketchbook that has not been mentioned, please let me know, because I am a sketchbook aficionado and I love to collect and try new sketchbooks. So if you have something that you really love, go ahead and let me know, and let everyone else know as well. Also, if there is one of these that you have used and you think stands out above the others, let us know that too. If anyone's planning on looking into purchasing one of these, it'll just help them out with what they decide to go with. But I love my sketchbooks. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great week. Bye!